You start with toning the whole paper a soft gray. So how you do that is you use the side of the vine charcoal. And you start with one layer. You're filling the whole page using the side of the charcoal, trying to not get any dark lines here. Okay, so then we're gonna rub that in. And I'm gonna do that one more time. Still going lightly, so I don't want a dark gray, I just want a soft light gray. But I'm just trying to get it even. So I've set up a simple still life with a strong light. I can use a viewfinder to find out how large I want the objects to be on the canvas or on the paper, and I'm going to start by drawing out the light. So it's opposite from drawing around these objects in a dark line, and this technique can help some students who are used to having everything outlined with a dark line. So I'm drawing the light areas. I'm starting with that box, and I'm drawing with the kneaded eraser. There's the lemon here. And then I can start to add the other values. But let's see if I can get a little bit sharper line here with a different eraser. Okay, so I created a dark background intentionally, and we're going to go ahead and shade that dark background. So I'm shading up to the edge of the box here and around the lemon, really looking at those negative shapes. Keeping everything nice and loose, nothing too dark. Actually, that dark background kind of stops somewhere there. But I'll probably put the dark, the real dark in last. Let's establish the corner of this box. So I'm trying to create values next to values versus using lines. So here I want to get rid of this line and create this as a value. So now if you have white chalk, you can go back and kind of reestablish some of these brighter highlights. The last step is to really define your darks, because you don't want to have to try to erase into a dark, because that will be really hard. This right here is called the core shadow. It's never right on the bottom of the object, especially if this object is sitting on a white box. You're going to get some reflection from the white right here. So now I'm just blending, try to get some variation in these middle grays. Kind of the last thing I do is go in and establish that black background or that dark background. I have to decide what's lighter and what's darker right here. I can use this to lighten an area. some areas I left the gray of the paper, certain areas. And you just blend these values. I can continue to work this dark to make the lemon pop out. So I took some waterproof India ink and I mixed it with water, and then I tested it on the edge of the paper here to see how dark it was going to be. I'm going to try and make some gray paper here using a sponge brush. I've taped my paper down to the tablecloth so that I can go to the edges. So I found a rhythm with getting these smooth. You just work really fast. And you can smooth out the values. Smooth out the ink, get a nice soft gray. Now I'm working with acrylic paint mixed with water. I happen to have a high flow acrylic, but whatever you have, doesn't need a lot of paint. Just a little bit of paint and a lot of water. The paper I'm using is an 80-pound drawing paper. Okay, first we have the one that I did where I created a gray with charcoal on white paper and I erased the highlights, which is always hard to get back to the white of the paper, so I used a little bit of white chalk there. Here's the one on gray paper. This is the construction paper, gray, slate gray, I think. And this one is on the gray paper that I created. So you can see how the gray paper definitely feels more filled out in those middle values than this one that I created the gray in the background with the charcoal.